Hey all, Board Game Rants here, where you'll find everything solo tabletop gaming and more. The overview and unboxing of Black Angel. I am looking forward to this one. Solo. Let's have a look-see. And per usual, I've watched lots of videos on this already. I have read through the manual online. So what this is about, right up there, humanity, through its irresponsible behavior, has rendered Earth uninhabitable. Faced by the urgency of the situation, the great nations are forced to share their knowledge in order to create the most vast spacecraft ever constructed, the Black Angel. Ba-ba-ba-bum. That's actually the Black Angel. Anyway, its mission, transport the genetic heritage of humanity to a new home planet. So, our objective is Planet Spess, reported to be as habitable as Earth. During the voyage, which could last a very long time, the crew of the Black Angel, composed solely of robots, we get to play robots, will be co-managed by several artificial intelligences. We're going to play as one of those AIs. We have to make the most of our robots. There's going to be resources. We get to explore space on our way to Spess. And there's going to be attacks by Ravagers, and we get to learn new technologies discovered through contact with good guys, good alien species. Once you've obtained the objective, the AI that has earned the best score will have the privilege of overseeing the reawakening of humanity. So, we're on board this huge ship. We're going to be traveling through outer space on our way to Spess. We're going to have our own player boards. This looks like it's set up for 4 players. But playing solo, you're going to play against an AI called HAL, run by a deck. Let's flip the lid here. All right, getting down and all up in it. I thought I'd point out, too, this is kind of cool before we completely take the lid off here. We got the names of the designers who, if you haven't heard, were the designers of Bum-Bum-Bum-Bum. I've always called it Troyes, but I guess it's Trois or something. Whatever. Anyway, this game has become a bit of a classic, very critically acclaimed. There are certainly mechanics in Black Angel that are similar, especially as where the dice and activating dice are concerned. But this is kind of cool. It's got a little bit of information on each of these guys here on the sides. And let's see here. Tool. The artwork. Tool. Little on him. That's kind of cool. I like that. Black Angel work fiction. Little public announcement looking thing there. Anything on the end? No. All right. Let's stop goofing off. Let's get in this thing. All right. Cleared the space. And here we go. We got ourselves a manual, which and sometimes I've been experiencing even just recently that the manuals online are different than the ones that come in the game because they're, the prototypes or something. And this is quite the color scheme. At first I was a little turned off by it, but I don't know, maybe I've looked at the game enough, I've watched it played. By the way, at the end of this video, I believe I'll be putting up I'm going to put up some links there for you on a tutorial for the base game and then a separate one for the solo that was done by, well, you'll see in the link there. It was very well done. And it was really, I watched them a couple times because they were just so well done. And and the voice, I just love the voice of the person that did the thing. It totally reminded me of Despicable Me in such a just such a fond way. Anyway, I'll put those links up, but I would highly recommend looking at them because they really will teach you pretty much everything this manual will teach you. And the manual is well done, I think. I mean, I haven't put it to the test yet, but this is a pretty involved game in which you're going to be operating on the ship. So that represents the Black Angel. And there's 6 main actions you can take. There's actually 4 main actions you can take. 3 of them are kind of the same thing, but with the 3 different colors. And then there's 3 other, you can get your technology tiles. And then there's going to be Ravagers that keep on attacking the ship and doing damage to it. So there's going to be ways that you can take damage off the ship and attack and kill off the Ravagers. And so that, this looks super busy, but that's kind of what everything's going on here on the outside of the track, is we're going to keep track of our victory points. And then the dice are going to be kept here. That'll be used to activate the actions, etc. And then up here we've got, so this is the space board, and there's the Black Angel that's going to be on the board, and it's going to be moving through space. And it's kind of interesting because this it's going to kind of cycle. This, as the Black Angel moves forward, this is actually its own separate, I'll show you, thing that you'll flip over and then put at the front. And then and so there's sort of this cycling until you get to within sight of Planet Spess, which takes a little while. But out on this board, while you're traveling through it, you can go out and start missions up with the 3 different alien species. And that's very cool. Of course, there's Ravagers out there that are going to get you. You got to watch out for asteroids and stuff. But so there's essentially 2 boards you'll be playing on. And then Sequence A and Sequence B. So there's going to be 2 main sets of actions you get to do on your turn. Either it's going to be mostly Sequence A. And then Sequence B is kind of a reset. And here's all the different actions you can take. And there's a lot of iconography on here, but and I think these mean resources. I mean, I haven't quite, this means damage cube, but it seems very straightforward. I think once you play once, all the iconography is just gonna make total sense, because there's a lot of it. Like this victory point, and this means, I think, ships, those little gray spaces. This means you get to draw cards, mission cards. There's a whole thing on this. Oh, and there's advanced rules too, which aren't like super advanced. There's 2 things that it basically modifies. The technology tiles start with a different side up, and then you, at the end of your normal Sequence A turn, you typically only get to draw 1 card, and you just kind of get what you get. But in the advanced variant, you get to draw 2 and keep 1. But here it is, plain solo. So here's the solo. So yes, HAL is run by a deck of cards, just a small deck of cards. Looks pretty darn simple to implement, and HAL does lots of very simplified actions compared to yourself, and scores points, and so you are definitely trying to beat HAL. I don't know that I'm terrifically fond of the way it's just like, oh, if you want to make it harder, just give HAL more points to start with. So, whatever. I understand. My understanding is HAL is pretty dang hard on it's just hard, because it just scores points. Instead of getting, ships and resources and robots, it just converts everything into points. And so that's cool. That'll make it probably pretty easy and quick to run, so you can get back into your playing time. So let's see what we got. That was the rule book, and now we've got some appendix. So yeah, all the mission cards. Here we go. So this is where all the iconography is explained, which is good. Victory points, ships, drawing mission cards. Here's your tech tiles. Here's the robots. You're going to need robots basically to do lots of different things, to be able to, especially to man a ship and then fly out into space and do missions. And let's see what's on the side. Yep, more technology stuff. And then there's these cool little advanced technology tiles you can get. They're basically end game scoring tiles. So you can aim for certain ways of playing that'll maximize your score. Okay. And let's see here. So here's some player aid. Here's the official player aids that explain all the different iconography too, and what you do with it, which is pretty good. Okay, here's the rundown on your Sequence A and Sequence B's. And you'll notice there's a 1, 2, 3, and a 4. That's if you're playing with multiplayers. The first player doesn't get any extra goodies. Second player gets a little extra goodies. And third and fourth get more and more extra goodies. Aside from that, these are all the same, I believe. Okay, player board. Well, one of the player boards, I should say, because, yeah, this officially kind of has 2 player boards. This will be the this will be upside down. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, here's the ship. We're going to have we're going to take over. You're going to put one of your player tokens here. You're going to get the dice. You're going to roll the dice, and those will be your dice, but you can kind of buy each other's dice, very much like the Troyes game. And that's how you'll activate your actions out here. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different actions. But again, in each color, green, gray, and yellow, or orange, whatever, it looks yellow to me, there's you know, kind of an action to go out into outer space and activate missions and stuff. And then there's like a separate special action that yellow does. Gray has its own go out into space action thing, just like yellow does. So does green, and then each of them has their own like special. This one looks like it. What is this one? This one attacks Ravagers. This one repairs damage. This one gets you these technology tiles. Going to end up being loaded up here and kind of cycling through, and then down below this line, there's going to be the advanced technology tiles. And in a one-player game, those are going to cycle too. Normally, they don't really cycle. You just replace them. But in a one-player game, they're going to kind of cycle as Hal grabs stuff up. All right, what do we got here? We got some punch board. So here is a player board right here. So these are cool. Everybody's going to get their own. And it's really in there. Okay. So, yeah, you're going to have your own player board. And see if I can get this a little bit more seeable. And you're going to be taking technology tiles like up here, and you're going to be placing these out on your board. And then it's very cool. These are going to be like sliding up and or to the right, and eventually they may end up getting shoved off your board, and you'll save them for possible extra points at the end of the game. And as tiles as your advanced technology tiles get placed or get shoved off, you can set them in here. So like if I have this one, yeah, and it got shoved all the way over and then out because I kept getting let's just grab a couple more. Yeah. As you get these technology tiles and then you add them in, so I could add this in. It shows this little arrow here, and as I do that, it shoves everything over. Boop, boop. This gets shoved out, and then I could pick a spot here. And then this is saying, I think this means for every advanced technology tile on my board here, you get 2 victory points. Don't quote me on that, but I'm just kind of guessing the iconography there. And then if I've tucked any mission cards under here, you can only ever get a maximum of 4 for these technology tiles. But if you tuck a card under here, in a certain, because stuff happens elsewhere in the game and allows you to, then you can increase the score that you can get from that technology tile. So yellow cards are there, gray cards there, green cards there, and depending on where you put your certain advanced technology tiles, you can really maximize your score. Very cool. I love it. There's also too a mechanism here in which you activate these. And let's keep going here. So that was that. Okay, here's blue and all of its advanced tech tiles. And then here's gray and all of its advanced technology tile stuff. And another color. Okay, now here we go. Now we're getting into the space board. There's Planet Spess. That's ultimately where we're trying to land. And then here, these guys. Let's see if I can... Let's see if I can get a couple of these out just to show you how those work. And the last 3 punch boards were these guys here, and so I punched them all out because this is what's going to make up your space board. Depending on the players you have, you're going to have only a certain number out here. I believe with you're playing solo, you're going to have them, they're double-sided, and just put them out randomly to start, and then you... Well, let's continue on. So there's the space board. This is going to be a main playing area too, where you're going to put down mission cards in certain areas here: green, gray, yellow, And there's going to be Ravagers that attack the ship if you start missions in certain areas. And then if Hal, so this little meteor symbol, if Hal ever starts a mission up, he's going to get extra points for putting him on these little meteors. And then right up the center here, where this yellow, or sorry, this white laser-looking lines are, that's where the ship's going to go. So let's continue on in here and look. Okay, got our cute little robots here. And ships, looks like. I'll open that up in a second. Here we go. Here's the, these are small. These are small little mission cards, but here they are. Oh, there's a Ravager, I think. And then you're going to have green, yellow, and gray cards. So here's Hal. This is going to be Hal's deck, and that's how, when Hal collects any one of these things, then instead Hal's just going to get victory points for it. So it's going to be pretty simple for Hal, running Hal. Let's continue on. We're almost through here. We got our dice. So here's our dice that are going to be effectively the stars or zeros. So when you're trying to activate, you basically get the number of activations that you rolled on the pips on the die. So 2 activations, 0 activations, 1, and it goes up to 3. So there's not a 4, 5, or 6. There's only 1, 2, and 3, and the stars are 0. So kind of an interesting take there on the dice that you'll be rolling. And then so here we go. This is so these will be damage cubes, and then when you repair the ship, you get to actually use the damage cubes as debris that can help you activate things and score points at the end of the game. So that's cool, as you'll get rewarded for repairing the ship. And here are these little player tokens. These are little player tokens that are going to go out because you get to pick a spot, and then you'll put your player token on the spot. That'll be your dice to roll, and then the other one you're going to put is going to score your victory points. And we've got, here's our resources. So these cool looking, crystally looking guys here are going to be used to purchase dice from other people. Remember, you could do that in their first game, Troyes, or Trois, or whatever. And so resources are going to be big, and also you can use resources to flip over your dice. So whenever you get crummy rolls, you on the other side, it's always a difference of 2. So if I flip this 1 over, or let's see, like this, there's the green 3, flipped it. Okay, that didn't work. Well, anyway, it sort of worked. Just take my word for it. On the other side of this 1 is a 3. On the other side of this 3 is a 1. And on the other side of the star is a 2. So that's how that works. So you can use these to flip your dice over and make them stronger. And then, ooh, lots of baggies. Lots of baggies. Okay. Let's open up some of these cards and pieces here real quick. All right, I got some pieces out here. So here's our robots that we're going to get. And these robots, here's the ships you can get. And then when you want to send your ship out, you just slide your little robot in the little ship. Oh, it's just freaking adorable. Look at the cute little ship and the cute little robot. And then here's the Black Angel. Black Angel's going to be marching its way up. And then until it reaches Spess, but you can launch off of there and go out here and activate an area. So if I had a yellow mission, I could, activate it potentially, and boom, you just place that there. And then, so this space is going to kind of fill up with different mission cards. And then, oh, and here's Hal. Everybody say hi, Hal. Hi, Hal. And Hal... That was ridiculous. Anyway, so Hal is just going to be, you flip this over, and that is, after you take your turn, Hal is going to do either sequence A or sequence B based on what you did. He's going to try to, use if I took a sequence A, which most of the time you are, then he's going to use a yellow die to do his thing and score points accordingly. And then it goes back to me, and then it goes back to Hal, and just you just keep on rocking the AI that way when you're playing solo. Got some Ravagers here. They're going to come out on the board and try and hurt our ship. Put little damage cubes on there, which will make sometimes make our dice less effective as we try to activate a particular action. The damage we have to work our way through. There'll be like something like this one. We'd have to discard one of our cards, one of our either yellow, blue, or green card, or mission cards. And then these mission cards are actually very cool because it can be used in different ways. You can take this mission card and you can just, like, you can set it. One of the things you can do on your Sequence A turn is you can set it there, and then you'll be able to activate any yellow technology tile that happened to be there. You'd be able to activate it. And if you had any Ravager cards and you use that instead, you can activate all the little technology things. So I'd get a victory point, and I could get a robot if I wanted, or you can do just the iconography makes sense pretty quick, but you just got to get the hang of it real fast. And obviously I don't have the hang of it. Anyway, I can place that card here, here, or here, or you can place it here, here, or here. And depending, if you have blue or green cards, you would do that as well. And then as the mission cards come out on the board, and as Spess continues to move forward, the back of space gets lost and gets added up here. And in that way, cards are going to slide down until they actually fall off of the board. And then whoever owns that card gets to slide that under there, and that's where you would score extra points for your advanced technology tiles, your end game scoring thing. So I love how that works. I love how cards have, the cards can be used here, the card to activate your tiles. They can be used as missions if you put them out here. Then when they fall off the board, they can help you maximize your scoring. The damage works the same way. It comes out here, it kind of affects you there, but then you can fix the ship. Then you get to take these and you can potentially activate. That's what these little symbols here, you can activate with the debris you just got from fixing the machine, the Black Angel. You can activate your tech tiles, which is freaking awesome. And then when you're done with that, there's a cleanup phase, and you can put them up there, and they can count as points for you. And so everything kind of cycles around and affects everything. And I just love that type of mechanism where everything dovetails into everything else. And, well, I think that's a decent look there at all of what we've got here in Black Angel. I'm looking forward to sinking my teeth into this one. And until next time, I appreciate you watching on Board Game Rants. And I'm out.